Good morning. Welcome to your program agenda here on Cignal TV's One News Channels 8 and 250. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us yet again for another episode of the program, and of course, for being Cignal TV subscribers. Thank you also to those who have faithfully watched us via Facebook and YouTube for the last 5.5 years, I am told. So it's been a long ride, but like I mentioned yesterday, we have officially been informed that Agenda will air its last episode on December 29, 2023. So it's been a good journey. We've seen a lot, done a lot in 5.5 years. We've survived COVID. We learned how to go online, be online broadcasters. And we were the first to be, we were the guinea pigs, okay, so to speak, for broadcasting under COVID quarantine. So it has been exciting, but at some point, the excitement must settle down. You need to pack your bags and move on in life. So in the following 5 days, because actually we air up to 29, but December 25 and 26, we will be doing replays or reruns of our best of the best for the year. So the live program will only be for today, Friday, tomorrow, and the last 3 days after Christmas. So in the meantime, what we decided to do is spend our remaining days inviting guests who were always there for us, who always joined us. And speaking of there for us, as I predicted, he will be on time. Let's move on with our program so we can talk to our first program for today, first guest for today. Anyway, I'm getting too much information on the screen. So what we will be doing is speaking with people, with personalities who were there for us when Agenda was starting, when Agenda was going through challenging times, and who have become friends in many ways. But before that, let's go to our daily starter, another Agenda main staple where we try to share a thought or an idea or a belief that we hope will bring color and purpose to your day. This one is from best-selling author John Maxwell. We overestimate what we can do tomorrow. We over-exaggerate what we did yesterday. We can underestimate what we can do today. So today, we are going to spend the precious hours of the program expressing gratitude. And do join us and keep in mind the words of John Maxwell. Do what you can today. Okay, so we'll go for a quick break. When we return, we will be speaking with someone who initially I used to interview because he was the MMDA chair, and then he also because he was a former mayor, and then eventually became a senator, but more importantly, became a friend. And every time we see each other, we cannot help ourselves from talking about classic cars, old cars, because he is now into the hobby that I have learned to walk away from. Anyway, let's see if we can. So, Gab, are we ready to go on a break? Or are you still setting things up? Okay, we'll go for a quick break. And then when we return, we do our our gratitude show with our next guest.
Senator Francis Tolentino is set to relinquish his post as the head of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. He said this is in line with his vow that he will only serve the said position for a fixed term. The senator expressed his intention to focus on being the head of the Senate Special Committee on Maritime and Admiralty Zones, especially after the recent harassment incidents of Chinese vessels against Filipino ships in the West Philippine Sea. The former Tagaytay City Mayor and MMDA Chairman has shown through the years how he is on top on various issues that plague the country. Senator Tolentino was one of Agenda's point persons when illegal e-sabong operations were flourishing in the country.
Naniniwala pa rin po ako na yung pag-ooperate ng e-sabong dahil po sa lisensyang binigay ng PAGCOR ay illegal. Wala po sa poder o sa prangkisa ng PAGCOR na allowed po silang mag-share ng prangkisa nila.
He also has been training his sights on economics, scrutinizing deals like the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP.
But I'm not totally against RCEP. But there are some legal matters which has not yet been answered forthrightly by the DFA and DTI when I asked them.
What other matters is the lawmaker focusing on these days? Let's catch up with Senator Tolentino on today's agenda.
Good morning, Senator Tolentino. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo.
Morning, sir. Good morning to your viewers as well, and Merry Christmas, Mr. Cito Beltran and your staff and family and viewers. Likewise.
Okay. As you may have already been informed, our program today is somewhat different. It is going to be a very quick conversation because we simply want to say thank you. Thank you very much for being supportive of the program agenda, for always making yourself available when your schedule allowed, and of course for being a friend, not just to the program but to myself. And ito pong episode today is aming pasasalamat sa mga kaibigan. So having said that, thank you very much. Now, medyo konting trabaho lang, Senator. I have to admit, I was quite surprised and mystified why you decided to let go of such a powerful position.
Oh, you're referring to the Blue Ribbon. Perhaps the background should be explained. Dapat maliwanagan that yung pangako ko talaga at yung usapan ay para sa 1.5 years for two positions. One is the chairmanship of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Two is my membership with the Commission on Appointments. Both important positions. Tayo naman po ay tumutupad sa isang usapan at I have said this, what I have done is in fulfillment of a predetermined commitment to lead the Blue Ribbon just for 1.5 years. So I find it really imperative to uphold the integrity of such an agreement. Palabra de honor po yan.
Okay, ayun malaking bagay po, Senator Tolentino. Now, what are your next moves, next plans? Because nung nire-review ko yung mga balita, for instance, we became we became seatmates almost regarding the problem of online sabong. Mukhang yung unfinished investigation of 10 missing sambongeros, yung kanilang mga suspects or yung mga guards are now free on bail. And biglang marami nagtawagan and sabi sa akin, paano nangyari yun? Hindi ba murder yung kaso niyan or whatever? Bakit may bail yan? Sabi ko, magtanong kayo sa abogado, hindi po ako abogado.
Nakita ko nga, nabasa ko nga sa isang broadsheet yun. So nakakalungkot. Siguro yung ang pinag-uusapan dito yung quantum of proof, yung evidence na meron ngayon. Subalit hindi dapat ito magbigay ng pahiwatig na hindi tinutugis ng kapulisan at ng prosecution service yung mga may sala. So perhaps during the break and even after the break, ikukonsulta ko yung chairman namin sa Committee on Public Order kung ano yung dapat na pagtalima po dito.
Okay, now regarding the In terms naman sa media, sa franchises, medyo pinag-uusapan na ngayon yung mga nagiging insidente involving particular media practitioner, a particular media outlet, and of course members of Congress. What is your reading? Ito ba incidental to politics or meron bang nagpapakitang kakulangan sa batas regarding freedom of the press, etc.?
Your guess, your speculation probably might be as good as mine and the rest of your viewers right now. Tama po kayo kung ano man ang istasyon, yung freedom of expression, the press should never be curtailed, and any censorship should be done within the bounds of what is provided for under our Constitution. So, nakakalungkot po yun. I gave a statement yesterday that the freedom of expression occupies a higher rank in the hierarchy of freedoms which we presently enjoy. Not just here in the Philippines, but almost all over the world, except for some authoritarian countries. So, nakakalungkot po yun, but there is a process for this. Nabasa ko kanina na there is an appeal. I hope the appropriate government agency would respond to the appeal and akit siguro ng korte yan. Tingnan na lang po natin, but I am against curtailment of freedom of expression and of the press.
Well, we appreciate that, Senator Tolentino. Now, can you as a legislator, or will you as a legislator take steps to propose a bill to further clarify such a freedom? Because meron ng isang congressman, hindi ko na lang muna pinatulan kasi sabi ko it's a developing story. But one particular congressman went out of his way to interpret the law, the suggestions of the Soto law, and as you pointed out, freedom of expression is of the highest importance and level. Pero parang sa kanila ay hindi. Pag sinabi naming isulat mo yung source mo, dapat gawin mo. Especially dahil hindi ka naman legitimate or employed member of media. Black timer ka lang, etc. It was very disturbing to hear, Senator Tolentino.
Indeed, with due courtesy to our colleagues, parliamentary courtesy is probably an appropriate term. But we have been studying this, lahat naman kayo, ever since the Watergate scandal, ever since the Vietnam War, Vietnam Papers, which has been adopted by our Supreme Court, that even the immediate source of the information cannot be revealed as part of the rights of the Fourth Estate. So, siguro tama kayo, developing story, but we also need to respect decisions coming from the Supreme Court. And I think the Supreme Court will side with freedom of expression.
Okay. So now, ang tanong ko, dahil ako, alam ko na yung plano ko. Ako muna ay magpapahinga sa farm after December 29 and meet the new year. Kayo po, what are your plans for the coming year?
Ako po ngayon, bukas marami pa akong events. Tomorrow we'll have a gift-giving activity in Tondo, Manila. Pagkatapos, hindi ko pa nadaan lagi ako sa simbahan ng Immaculate Conception po sa Dasmariñas, Cavite. Kasi parang ang bilis ng simbang gabi. Ano na kagad ngayon 2021 na. So, yun po. And then sa Tagaytay na lang po ako. At kahit hindi po tayo mekaniko, ay nagpapanggap na mekaniko. Hindi naman natin kayang gawin yung ginagawa ng mekaniko, pero yun na rin po siguro. Hanggang bagong taon na rin po yun kasi pagkatapos po ng bagong taon, pagdiriwang naman po ako ng kaarawan.
Kailan
Hours
ba
after.
kailan ba birthday nyo?
January 3 po ako eh.
Okay.
Kaya mahaba-haba po itong pahinga rin na pero tuloy din po yung pagmi-meeting ko po sa mga staff, lalong-lalo na doon sa mga kinakasa namin para sa yung natitirang committee ko po, yung Committee on Justice and Human Rights. And immediately after the holidays, I think magpapa-schedule kagad ako ng hearing kasi yung Senate staff daw ay January 9 or 10 pa, baka 10 kasi baka matraffic pa yung 9 kasi translation po yon o Nazareno. So January 10 magkukondak agad ako ng hearing kahit hindi pa ho bukas ang sesyon.
Okay, now matanong ko lang in relation to agenda. You have always been a available guest. You've always been supportive. Ano ang mga learnings mo in your engagement, not just with agenda but with the media? Kasi lagi kong sinasabi po sa mga ibang kasama ninyo, other elected officials and personalities, the media is your friend. Our job here is to tell people of what you are doing, what you want to do, etc. Maybe it would help if kayo na magkwento kung ano yung experience nyo, good and bad, dito sa agenda.
Alam niyo po, akala ko kahapon nga yung interview, kaya sabi ko, teka muna, lampas alas 8 to, bakit hindi ako tinatawagan? Kasi nakalista sa akin yon. Naghihintay ako kahapon. Buti na lang nasabi nyo na bukas pa, ngayon nga. So ang buong akala ko talaga kahapon. So sa akin po, yung pagiging forthright, frank, in honest engagement. So I think public service should really be public, PUBLIC. And when I say public, quote unquote, it has to be engaging in such a way that others who are not with us right now, for instance, tayo lang nag-uusap, would be part of the conversation. So dapat alam po ng mga taga-Tawi-Tawi, alam ng taga-Kalinga, alam ng taga-Lucena kung ano yung pinag-usapan natin ngayon. Perhaps it might not interest them. Baka may nakadaan sa isang garahe doon, may kotse palang luma sa Lucena. Lapit nilang. Perhaps it might not interest them kung ano yung ginagawa ng Blue Ribbon, kung anong ginagawa ng Special Committee on Maritime Zone. Pero yung pakikipag-usap po na naihahayag lahat, lalong-lalo na yung wala kang tinatago, ay mahalaga po sa ating mamamayan. And that's part of what our democratic experience is, that dapat po involved po lahat. Kahit yung ayaw ma-involve, ay dapat po na-involve.
Ay dito ba sa agenda, ever nakulitan kayo sa amin?
Hindi naman po. Ngayon lang po yung sinasabi sa akin, gamitin ko raw yung background ng hindi naman po ako marunong. Nung nakita ko po na yung background nyo, yung mga libro nyo rin sa likod, ay sabi ko, si Mr. Cito Beltran hindi rin siguro marunong maglagay ng wallpaper sa likod. So, hindi ko na ho inattempt at baka hindi ko pa mapaandar.
Okay. Well, that is one of the things. Yun ang isa sa mga natutunan natin. We learned during COVID na hindi pala pwedeng hindi tayo mag-evolve. Tayo mga magkakaedad. Although mas malaki tanda ko sa iyo kung hindi ako nagkakamali.
Ito pong weekend na mahaba-haba, mag-aaral uli po ako ng mga gadget ko kung paano yung mga bagong apps, yung mga bagong dapat gawin.
Okay, Sen, bago tayo magtapos, tanong ko lang, no? You're not a re-electionist in 2025, are you? Or
I am a re-electionist. Opo.
Ngayon, yun ang tanong ko. Balak mo bang tumakbo, mag-aral, magmekaniko? Ano ba ang plano mo for 2025, Senator Tolentino?
Sabay-sabay po siguro yon. Yung pag-mekaniko, baka hindi na natin kayanin na maging eksperto tayo. So, kinukonsulta ko rin po yung mga kaalyado ko. So, baka po mag-seek ng re-election at doon po siguro ang direksyon.
And wag po kayong magdadalawang isip tumawag sa akin na kung kailangan mo ng isang alalay, driver,
Hindi,
o kaya
mekaniko.
mekaniko. Yeah, but no, more than anything, our time together, every time you guested on agenda and when I would see you privately sa mga events, I've come to know you in a very personal manner. And bumilib ako sa'yo, Senator Tolentino. No, at tapating kita. Nung umpisa, sabi ko, mukhang masungit eh. Mukhang maangas katulad ko. Pero magkatribo pala tayo. And in fairness, you have pursued a lot of things and you have dealt with a lot of issues that others have second thoughts of dealing with. So, yung tapang, yung commitment nasa inyo. So, suportahan ta ka, Senator Tolentino. And
Salamat po.
matanong ko, may bala ka bang tumakbo for higher office?
Ay,
Hindi, kasi alam mo, nag-ano ka na eh, nag-MMDA chairman ka na, nag-city mayor ka na, nag-senator ka na. Sabi ko, aba ito yung kind of career path that someone is probably, headed towards higher office, even without planning.
tayo po gagawin lang po natin yung ginagawa natin ngayon at masaya po tayo na may mga kakilala, kaibigan kagaya ninyo na marunong makaunawa sa mga sitwasyon namin na napakahirap din naman, kagaya no naunawaan ko rin po yung mga tiga-media. So wala po ako masabing ganon. Alam niyo po, gaya ng sinasabi niyo sa umpisa ng programa, gratitude should always pervade in our life. So I'm really grateful to the Almighty for the blessings that I have received and the ability to share it with others. So hanggang sa ganun po tayo, nagpapasalamat po tayo sa araw-araw. At ganun din po siguro sa mga araw-araw na nakikilala natin at nakakadaupang palad. So we have to be all grateful for the gifts that we have received, even though perhaps we do not deserve it.
Yun po. Okay, Senator Francis Tolentino, maraming salamat
Maraming
for
salamat po.
always being there for us, for being a friend of the program. May God bless you, and you can count on my support at the very least when you run for re-election. Kandidato ka namin. Thank you.
Salamat po. Merry Christmas po, sir. And
Merry
to your
Christmas.
staff as well and your family members. Mabuhay po kayo and Happy New Year. God bless
Happy
po.
New Year. Okay, that's it. That's Senator Francis Tolentino, mga kaibigan. And ako naman po, prangka. Nung umpisa, medyo sabi ko maangas, mukhang masungit. Tapos nakita ko yung sarili ko sa salamin. Ano, pinagkaiba mo? Okay, yan po. So, Senator Tolentino has done what some people, has dealt with issues that some people won't. And for that, he has earned our respect. We'll be right back here on Agenda.
It can be said that agriculture is one of the sectors in the Philippines that many rely upon. With rice as a staple food and various provinces serving as agriculture hubs, Filipinos have a debt of gratitude to farmers and producers. Federation of Free Farmers Chairman Leonardo Montemayor and Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura Chairman Rosendo So are two of Agenda's trusted experts when it comes to agriculture concerns. Through the years, they have taken the responsibility of speaking for those who work in agri. Montemayor, a former agriculture secretary himself, has kept a close eye on policies that secured the rice supply.
Unlimited rice noon by the private sector. Hindi naman bumaba. Tapos lalo na ngayon, unlimited rice pa rin ang policy pero wala namang gustong umangkat. So apparently that policy has failed, Cito. Hindi tayo, hindi po nag-work itong policy na ito na only rice imports.
So has done the same. He was a voice of reason at the height of the spread of the African swine fever.
More concern ako dun sa effectivity ng vaccine. I think yung mismong Bureau of Animal Industry head dapat magsalita, no? Kung ano ba itong trial na ito and ito ba is talagang pwede nang gamitin, no? And kasi hindi nagsasalita ang chief ng Bureau of Animal Industry.
Looking forward to 2024, what could be the most pressing issues in agri? Let's discuss on today's agenda.
Good morning, gentlemen. Ka Leonie, Ka Sendong, welcome back sa agenda sa pamamaalam na episode, our goodbye conversations with people who supported the program, and we hope the program also supported. Mauna ka na, Ka Leonie, kasi sinasabi ni Sendong, mas senior ka raw sa amin eh.
Okay. Saka siguro mas may tsura naman Cito.
Yes, sir. Talo mo kami ng dalawang paligo.
Opo, well, una sa lahat, maraming salamat sa inyong paanyaya muli. At binabati ko rin siyempre yung ating listening and viewing audience. We hope for the very best for everyone this coming New Year. So let's work together to make it a better New Year. Salamat po.
Okay, Ka Sendong.
Yeah, Manong Cito, magandang umaga, and of course ang ating secretary, magandang umaga. So far, ang natin is we hope na everything will be okay, and this harvest, next harvest will be better.
Okay, well, hope springs eternal to those who drink a lot of whiskey. Pero medyo yung mga kakilala kong farmers, sinasabi ko yang medyo magtanim ka na ng maraming kamote dahil baka hindi ka kumain ng masyadong maraming bigas in 2024. Are you hopeful, Ka Leonie? Sir Leonie Montemayor, are you hopeful that or are you confident that things will remain the same or will they get worse?
Well, siyempre Cito, we are always hopeful Lalo na yung karakter natin bilang isang bilang mga Pilipino. In the very midst of difficulties, we somehow manage to keep a sense of humor. So yung nga lang, yung hopefulness dapat sabayan talaga ng tamang galaw, tamang preparasyon. And of course, next year will be quite challenging. The weather situation is quite a source of concern kasi yung El Nino tila magiging matindi ang tama lalo na sa second quarter of 2024. So dapat paghandaan po ito ng todo, tapos lahat dapat kumilos. And I would in particular mention also the role of local governments, saka siyempre local communities and their organizations dito po sa total effort. So it's gonna be a challenging year, Cito, and the international yung situation with respect to agriculture and food security is also very challenging. Kasi nandiyan pa rin siyempre yung yung problema po sa English mo tawag kasi diyan food nationalism Ibig sabihin, sa kalagitnaan po ng mga matitinding krisis po ngayon, inuuna talaga ng bawat bansa ang kanya pong mga mamamayan in terms halimbawa sa supply ng pagkain. So, taliwas po ito sa kaisipan noon nung wala pa itong mga Ukraine war, tsaka yung food export bans from India and the others. Ang tingin kasi hayaan mo na lang yung libreng merkado, yung free market to operate. And so sa kaso halimbawa ng bigas, talagang binuksan yung ating merkado to supposedly free trade in rice. But
So
it's not
you
yes.
your belief is it will be a challenging year. How about you, Kasendong? Ano ba ang tingin mo mas magiging mapaminsala or will cause more harm? Natural calamity as pointed out by Sir Leonie, which is El Nino, or man-made disaster which you have been fighting against in the form of mga imports and smuggled agriculture products?
Yeah, so far no, ang tingin naman natin sa vegetable kasi short crop mga 35 to 45 days makakaani na. Yun ang sigurong bantayan natin yung high value no. Kasi ito is mas mabilis ang turnaround. Kung makita natin yung nabanggit natin last 1.5 months ago na by December bababa yung presyo ng vegetable kasi maganda yung weather. So talagang bumaba yung presyo ng vegetable, no? Kagaya ng mga cabbage doon sa Benguet, 8 to 12 pesos na lang So maganda yung ani natin, maganda yung production, mga local. Siguro yun ang dapat tutukan natin para at least yung hindi maputol yung mga production natin. Yung sa rice naman, minomonitor natin talaga yung mga dam, no? So far, sa awa ng Diyos, yung mga dam natin sa Ilocos, dito sa Pangasinan, yung San Roque, yung dito sa Nueva Ecija, and yung Magat sa Isabela, and yung Bulacan, medyo hindi pa naman critical. So we hope na makatanim ngayon, no, maka-harvest tayo ng March kasi ang sinasabi ng yung El Nino is between April and May. So hindi masyadong maano pa itong cropping na ito. So we encourage yung mga area na pwedeng tamnan pa rin, no. And kung titingnan natin yung world market price, no, tumataas ang Vietnam at Thailand. Latest, yesterday, ang Thailand, yung 25% broken, umakyat ng $15, no? From $600. Ngayon, nasa $615. So, ibig sabihin, yung presyo dito sa local na bigas, palay, tumataas din, no? Kasi binabase nila dun sa world market. So, maganda sa mga magsasaka kasi may encourage na magtanim ang magsasaka. Ang bilihan ng miller ngayon sa farmers is 27 pesos. Yung ito is yung fresh harvest, no? Yung dry umaabot na ng 29, delivered ng farmers sa miller umaabot na ng 31 pesos na. So equivalent nito is around pag giniling ang bentahan na sa 49 pesos na bigas na.
So maganda-ganda yung kanilang Pasko.
Yeah, magandang Pasko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ngayon, tanong ko, Sir Leonie, Sendong, in terms of the big picture, has agriculture become top of mind for many Filipinos, especially policymakers? Or tayo ba ay parang mga makukulit na kalampag ng kalampag pero hanggang ngayon agriculture is not yet given the right attention?
Napakaganda yung tanong mo, Cito. Dahil kanina we were discussing yung climate, tapos yung El Nino, drought. Ang inaasahan po namin for 2024, ang i-address po natin hindi lang po yung drought in water, but really is the drought in ideas, drought in new approaches. And I think there have to be new faces in agriculture and in general sa ating pong ekonomiya and the way that we approach things. Kasi kamakailan lang lamang Sito, maganda po yung sitwasyon ngayon na may bago tayong kalihim na full-time in the person of Secretary Kiko Laurel. And I think he brings in a fresh perspective na mas strategic po yung kanyang pag-iisip. So kasi po ang problema sa Sito tsaka Sendo sa tingin po namin, it's not only the production side Ang daming problema na okay, we encourage farmers, fisher folk to produce more. But at the end of the day, ang sukatan talaga yung ating consuming public Nakikinabang ba ang lahat in terms of more food availability at saka affordability? And this is where I think a lot of more attention should be given. Yung tinatawag na supply chain at saka value chain. Hindi lang dapat the whole range should be addressed and
ang napapag-usapan lagi yung bigas, pero hindi na pag-uusapan yung sino yung nakakakain ng bigas, sino yung nakikinabang sa mga tinanim na bagay. Well, anyway, unfortunately, Kalyoni, even when we had the regular program, all to you, for you, kinakapos tayo sa oras, lalo na ngayon sa aming pamamaalam, talagang lalo tayong kinapos. So, mapipilitan na po tayong magpaalam. But allow me to wish you and pray for you that the Lord will look upon all our farmers, our members in the agriculture industry, the stakeholders, that the Lord Almighty God will look down upon you with favor, that in 2024, life will be much better and priority will be given to the agriculture sector, and that you, Kalyoni and Kasendong, will find your place in the sun, will be recognized for your efforts. And kami po nagpapasalamat sa inyong ginawang suporta, pagtugon sa aming mga anyaya, and being part of the agenda journey. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Salamat po.
Salamat.
Okay, that's Rosendo So and Leonardo Montemayor. Hayaan nyo, magsusulat pa rin ako tungkol sa agriculture. We'll be right back after the break.
Agenda has become more than just a source of news for politics or health. It has also become a platform for viewers to gain tips and tricks on business matters. One of the show's regular consultants has been Sonny De Leon, who is the co-founder and president of Poco Deli. In his several guestings on the program, De Leon has shared valuable insights on managing his family-run deli and restaurant.
So there's a thin line between serving a community and parang sustainable business. Yung Poco, di ba? I mean, it's a 16-year-old neighborhood deli. Yun talaga yung original positioning namin. Hindi kami Magara, hindi kami Santis, hindi kami ganito. Maliit lang kami, pero you'll get the best sausages and bacon, etc., etc., in a very tiny place.
Of course, Agenda isn't the only platform where De Leon has shared his knowledge. In recent years, De Leon has been active on TikTok, flexing as a content creator to share his knowledge in running a business.
Exciting siya kasi suddenly, ang daming gusto matuto. I mean, you think people just want to be entertained, but really, people want to start a business. People want to learn. And that's exciting.
What else is in store for De Leon in 2024? Let's find out on today's Agenda.
Okay, Mr. Sonny De Leon, where are you right now?
In Boracay! I will see you soon!
Ikaw naman, in-expose mo na ako kaagad.
Sorry.
Okay, well, since you let the cat out of the bag, is my table prepared?
It's set up, with a red carpet and white sand.
Okay, well, Sonny, we've always been able to rely on you, especially in a tight situation or with questions that we can't find the usual resource person. You have always been there for Agenda, and that is why you are part of the guest list in our Pamamaalam episodes until December 29. Now,
thank you.
Please tell us what are you doing in Boracay? Is that the new Poco Deli? Para naman alam ng mga viewers natin kung ano yung bagong project mo.
Sige. So, we opened the Poco Deli about 10 days ago and in Boracay. So, this is our 5th store. And why did we open here? So, after COVID restrictions were lifted, etc., revenge travel and all that, we looked at all the 5 destinations for travel in the Philippines. And so, of course, Boracay, Palawan, Siargao, Bohol, etc. We have already in Palawan, but Boracay seemed like a very good place to open up because they had just rehabilitated the island. There are now sidewalks, sewage work.
Okay, we seem to have lost the audio there.
So clean water, wide sidewalk. The tricycles are electric. So even the tricycles are electric.
So on the outside, it looks like a good idea, but what were the biggest challenges?
Okay, as always, supply chain, shipping to the island. If you count the number of touch points, right, links to the supply chain, it's more than 12. And so shipping products here is a big challenge, storage, and then the island is still recovering. So about half of the shops are still closed. And there were initially some restrictions on travel and tourism, etc. So still a little slow. But people are very optimistic.
Okay, but what about customers? You're an upmarket kind of place. Yours are specialty cuisine. So do you have sufficient numbers of customers in Boracay? Because while there are a lot of people in Boracay, half of that are provincial tourists coming from the Visayas.
So you'll be surprised that because of, I guess, social media, digital, and people traveling all over, people have more adventurous palates now. So typically they stay in Boracay for 3 to 4 days. I mean, you can only eat so much lechon manok or andoks or whatever chori burger, right? At some point, people will want to try something new and reward themselves. So this year, we're seeing a lot of balikbayans. There are a lot of Canadians. I don't know where they came from, and Americans coming. And of
Oh
course,
no,
the
the Canadians are being brought in by balikbayan Filipinos. I have been learning about that magaling maghakot yung mga Pilipina sa Canada.
Kasi yung mga Canadians, yung iba galing Toronto, yung iba opposite end sa Vancouver. So, ang dami nila.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the last 10 days, I'm happy to say that while we're not hitting our forecast, because this year seems to be not as good as last year, we're okay. We're above break even, and we're excited for the summer season. And this is when, you know, the major arrivals are coming. But having said that, currently we serve the local businesses, the local business owners, hoteliers, restaurateurs. Kasi sa Boracay, kulungan lang eh. We eat all over the place and patronize each other's establishments.
So you're essentially you have a subset of customers. It's not just the walk-in diners. It is you've also become like an extension of the other hotels and restaurants who want your deli products.
Correct. So when we saw that the tourist arrivals were not as good as last year, we made deliberate steps to serve the community more. And these are really Filipinos and expats who have been here on the island 10, 20, 30 years. And of course, they're eager to eat something new, right? So that's what we offer.
Is that a fallback for you in the event that the tourists don't come as much as expected, that you would end up, that Poco Deli would end up becoming more of a commissary than a restaurant on Boracay?
So yes and no. Yes, in the sense that we serve the local community, but the big learning is these people want to escape their own businesses or establishments and dine in a place where it's quiet, where the aircon works, there's Wi-Fi, and you know they socialize, right? So it's a gathering place. So we're not a commissary, but we're more like a social event place where people chit chat, gossip, etc. All these things.
Okay, now 2023 is about to end. You've just put up your newest location. For 2024, are you already scouting another area, or is one of your kids, your son, your daughter, planning to put up their own brand?
So my eldest son has joined the business. So he just graduated from Le Cordon Bleu. So he's a certified chef, etc. So in terms of skill set, he's ready. He's focused now on fixing the system. So we have 5 stores in different locations, and the complexity of inventory, reconciliation, etc., etc. So that's his piece. But with us, we are exploring other concepts and other genres. So we're looking at Singaporean roast duck. We're looking at Filipino stuff. We're looking at different things. Yeah. So,
well, obviously, I really have to fly down there to make you understand that there is a very big market for vegetarian cuisine.
Okay.
Okay? So you better prepare.
you will be pleasantly surprised. We have a few things for you already, and that's one of the surprises I wanted to make, but because you preempted, sige na.
Okay. Anyway, we'll catch up soon, my friend. And
All right.
thank you very much for being there for us, for always being available on Agenda, and for being so generous, not just on the program, but on the internet, on YouTube, where you have been sharing your experiences, your learnings, and wisdom to the younger generation or even to the older generation. So for that, we thank you. We ask the Lord to bless you, to bless your wife Joy, to bless your children, and of course your staff all over the country.
Yes.
In your multiple venues. And may you be blessed. May God bless the work of your hands. And I will be looking forward to several days of fine dining with you, my friend.
In paradise. Thank you, Cito. Appreciate it so much.
Okay, God bless you. Okay,
right.
that's Mr. Sonny De Leon, personal friend. And of course, he is the man, he and his wife, Joy, are the people behind Poco Deli. And the success speaks of itself. When you have multiple outlets in different provinces and in the city here in Metro Manila, and everyone continues to go there. They have this little store here in Poco Deli where I know even a former president used to dine, where people have their meetings, etc. That tells you the food is good and the place is very private. Okay.
Thank you, Cito.
Okay, thank you, Sonny. And of course, now I believe, Gab, we will go now to our final blessing for today from the Book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 9 to 10. If you say, the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent. Hello, Mr. Wilson Ganipan. I will be seeing you in the Sabong. Okay. God bless all of you. Thank you for watching Agenda today. And please do join our Paalam series tomorrow and in the coming week. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.